There was a guy I used to work with who was just extremely envious and jealous kind of guy. And as I got in shape, he became less and less friendly. When I was out of shape, undisciplined, and didn't look good, he was the friendliest, best friend in the world. But as I said, no, I want to completely change every single part of my life. And I did. And I started wearing clothes that actually fit. My muscles were popping through and I started to look really good. He became less and less friendly and he would start to make comments about my clothes. So he was an external realization of my internal negative voice. Eventually, I just started shutting him down. After my self-confidence really grew, he would say, "Oh, there's Chris wearing that tight shirt again. He likes when his biceps pop through." So I just said, I'd rather my biceps pop through than my gut pop through. And I would gesture to his stomach. And people would laugh, and he stopped saying those things. Kept him in his place a little bit. Hi everyone, welcome to the Rising Father podcast. I'm Chris Rodack. Just ended our brotherhood call like 1 minute ago. Got some caffeine in me, have some topics to talk about, so I'm just going to knock it out. I'm just going to keep on talking. Talked for 20, 30 minutes about my trip to Cabo San Lucas, Mexico for a mastermind I was invited to. So I'll just keep on rolling with that, some lessons I learned and my takeaways from the week, successes and failures I had as a father afterwards. And I think you'll be able to relate to some of it. So I was invited to speak at a business mastermind in a beautiful location in Mexico, Cabo San Lucas. And if you've never been there, go. It's extremely safe. I was talking to my driver on my way to the airport, and I said, I felt really safe. I said, when I told people I was going to Mexico, they said, "Oh, you better be careful." And I said, I felt a lot safer walking in the middle of the night through Cabo than I do in Pittsburgh by a mile, by a long shot. Completely fine and safe. And I did that my first night there. It was beautiful. I wasn't at the mastermind location yet. I stayed by myself in a hotel for one night. And I just started exploring. I said, the city has such a crazy energy to it. It was so fun and vibrant. I got asked to buy weed, cocaine, and prostitutes within the first hour of the evening. But that's another story. But besides that, everyone's extremely nice, even the guys who were offering me cocaine. They had a big smile on their face. I said, "No, thanks." And they said, "Okay." And that was it. That was the end of the interaction. So, yeah, it's not like they were roughing me up like gangsters in Pittsburgh. So it was a beautiful, beautiful town. The food, unbelievably good. Oh, my goodness. The food in Mexico. And I remembered that. I've been to the Bahamas, Caribbean, Jamaica on some cruises and vacations with my wife. We went to Unico Resort in Riviera Maya, 5 or so years ago. And then when I was back in Cabo eating the food, I remembered how damn good the food is in Mexico. Oh my goodness, I love it so much. The fruit is so fresh. Obviously the tacos, the steaks I had were amazing. The food is so good. So I told my wife when I was there, I said, let's book another trip to Cabo, and it's not even that expensive. You can get a nice place to stay right by the beach for not that much money, as much as a hotel here in the States. So we're going to do that. But I was invited to go and talk about the growth of Rising Father, because what we've built with the Men of Fire program in Rising Father is more explosive, bigger, and more effective. Our transformations are greater. The programs that have been around for 10 plus years. And there's a reason why, and they wanted me to tell them why. They wanted me to give them the secrets of why have you been this successful. And it has very little to do with X's and O's. It has very little to do with the time of the day you post your content, algorithms. It has very little to do with business strategies. My strategy is to invest in people. My strategy is we have a really strong why behind what we do. That's it. We are not getting shredded and ripped just to look good. It feels amazing. Don't get me wrong. Whenever you see yourself in videos and pictures at the beach and you look fucking awesome, you look great, you love how you look, that feels amazing compared to the pictures and videos I post of myself when I was the complete opposite, and I hated it. And I can tell you, if you are where I once was, in that down state where you can't even wear a t-shirt and look good, it feels so good to look good. But that's not why we do it. We do it so we can show up better for our families. Because if I'm ripped and look good, but I'm an asshole father, none of it matters. We use fitness as a tool. You get in shape so you have more energy. You work on your fitness so you can develop discipline, so you can be emotionally in control of yourself, so you can serve your family better, so you can inspire your children to live a healthy, disciplined life. You can show them a way. Fit kids have fit parents. Obese kids have obese parents. Sloppy kids have sloppy parents. Sure, there's always going to be exceptions, but I'm sure we can agree that children take on the habits of their parents. And then what happens is your kids either decide to carry on your legacy or they decide to live their life in opposition to it. I would rather inspire my children in a way that they want to live like me. So I was invited to the Mastermind, spoke about the growth of my business, crushed it. When I was asked to speak at this event, I told the guy, I want everyone in tears and I want to pierce their souls. That's what I said. And that's what I want to do. I want to be a very powerful speaker because I know the more powerful speaker I am, the more people I can help. The better I can communicate, the more people I can help. Just a little trick on speaking that I use for myself. Sometimes this works, sometimes it's not, because sometimes I ramble, sometimes I mess up my words, sometimes I'm tired, sometimes I completely fail at speaking. But I have 3 C's: clear, confident, and concise. That's what I go for. That's written above me. So whenever I speak, not just on podcasts, not just on calls, not just in my program, but when I speak to anybody, I want to practice working on being clear, confident, and concise. Not have little offshoots in my thinking and stories, but tell a story, go there. As you know, if you listen to this podcast, that doesn't always happen. But that's my goal, and here's the great thing. I'm only 37. Whenever I'm 60, I want you to say, man, Chris is killing it right now. He's 100 times better speaker than when he was 37. So this is a continuous goal for me to work on this. It's never ending. I'm not going to retire from being me. Being me involves spreading my message and talking. So I gave this presentation. People said that it changed their life, if I can brag for a little bit. They said that it really impacted them. They said that what I spoke to really was what they needed to hear. I didn't speak about X's and O's. I spoke about overcoming yourself. I spoke about battling yourself. Because those are the things that matter to me. Those are the reasons why my life improved, why my business started exploding, why my fitness started exploding, and why my relationships drastically improved with everybody. And why who I am as a person drastically improved is because I learned the parts about myself that I had to defeat. Which parts of myself needed cut out of me and replaced with something better. And that is okay. Let's talk about that for a moment. It's okay to change yourself. Radical acceptance doesn't make sense to me. Do you want to stay the same? Do you want to be the same? I don't want to be the same. I'm pretty happy with myself right now, but I don't want to remain the same. 10 years from now, I want to be drastically different. One guy I look up to is Tony Robbins. He's, I don't know how old, upper 50s, 60s maybe. He is crushing it. He's been crushing it for decades, and he still wants more. He still wants to become more. He still wants to achieve more in his business and his personal life. It doesn't end for him. What would he turn into if he decided to be complacent and put on the brakes? He would change. He would completely change as a person. He'd be less inspiring if he wasn't pushing it. Oh, but don't you want to relax? Not really. Even when I was on this mastermind, I kept up my discipline. I woke up at 5 a.m., not my normal wake-up time, but I stayed up later to talk with people, to network, and to make connections. A lot of the people there wanted to talk with me one-on-one individually, so I did that to them. I said that If I don't help them while I'm here, then that would be selfish of me. So I stayed up and talked with them one-on-one, woke up around 5 each morning, did my workouts, still did sales calls before everyone else woke up, still did my brotherhood call, and ate clean, didn't have a single alcoholic drink, and was still disciplined throughout the entire time. Because I was at this place, I did not change as a person. So where I was did not change me. And because of that, the tone of the event changed. We, as a group, were very disciplined, didn't drink a lot. We took a lot from the training. We had a lot of value being shared, and people were focused on being the best people they can be. So it was a very self-development-like retreat where people were just rising. And I was really grateful they asked me to talk about it and to share my experience. So overcoming myself was the theme of my presentation. What are the self-sabotaging things that used to pull you down and still every single day scratch away at you? What are the things that your shadow self tries to defeat you with? One of the things I shared was when you have a success, you used to put on the brakes. When you would have a successful month or a successful day, you would tell yourself you deserve a break and you would do less. That is one of the ways I used to self-sabotage myself. Let me pull up some other that I can take you through. This is part of the presentation I gave. Okay, so I just pulled up my presentation. Here are the things that I identified, the thoughts and emotional patterns that held me back for years. Laying off the gas after each success. I would have a great day, a great month, something good would happen in my life, and I would say, you deserve a break. I would take a break. During that break, I would lose my identity. Why? Because my identity is tied to my habits, not my successes. But I didn't realize that at the time. And by changing my habits, I changed who I was. I would feel like crap, then I would start to spiral. So I don't do that anymore. Nathan, my son, came up with a great family motto. He said, the best never rests, which means if you're the best, you don't rest. You keep pushing. You may hear that and think, well, that's silly. That's okay. In my head, and my family said, we think of ourselves, yeah, we are the best. We push ourselves. We want to be the best. We are our own best cheerleaders. And that's a mindset I want to get in my son and my daughter's head too, is be your best cheerleader. You are different. You are a leader. You don't have to do what everyone else does. Have your own standard. When you think, what do I want to be in life? How do I want to handle this reaction? What do I want to do? You think of your own vision. And I want to be the man where my son can think of his father, where my daughter can think, what did my father do? So I need to be inspiring so we can live up to that. Spiraling after each failure. I used to crush myself with self-judgment whenever I would fail. I would start a business, it would fail, and I would just destroy myself. I didn't understand the massive lesson and blessings that were part of failure. Whenever you fail, that is a great gift. That's my thought process now. Yes, it still hurts. Yes, I want to succeed. But if I can have the perspective of this failure as a gift to me, I can pivot and learn massive lessons from it instead of I'm a failure because I failed. Then every failure will level me up. Every failure will make me rise if I have that perspective. Comparing myself instead of celebrating a peer's success. You see someone doing amazing in your field and something you want to do, and instead of celebrating their success, you have a scarcity mindset and think there's only a certain amount of success out there, and they took a big chunk of the pie. Now there's less pie for me, and I have to scrap for it. So you get jealous, you get envious, and your mind is fixed on that instead of celebrating them and building yourself. I don't do that anymore. I still get attacked by those thoughts. But now when I see someone else doing good, I force myself and I say, that guy is effing amazing. He is awesome. And it inspires me to want to be like them. Having a scarcity mindset instead having an abundance mindset. An inability to do the boring, consistent work. That was something that I couldn't do. Like today, it's beautiful outside. My wife and son and dog are walking around the lake. I still have to do work. I have to record a podcast. I just did my brotherhood call. I have calls to make. I have website edits to do. It's early. What time is it? It's 9:39 a.m. It's Saturday. I'm still going to do work today. I have a vision I want. I want to create a legacy. I want my family to live in abundance. I told Nathan, I said, within 2 years, we're moving to a large property. And I said, when we do that, you can get what kind of dog does he want? Not another, we have a Brittany Spaniel. He wants I don't know, come to me, a bigger dog. I said, when we move to this property, you can get a bigger dog. It's something I want for him. I want for me. I want for our family. I want us to be able to spread out. I want to get a place where I can do retreats on my own property. We have amazing live retreats in the Men of Fire program. I want to host those on my own property. So I need to work to get that. It's beautiful outside. But guess what? I also love what I do. I love doing this. I love doing podcasts. I love working. I used to not love working. Some of this work is boring and consistent. Can I still do it? Is that vision that I want for me and my family greater than me not wanting to do boring, consistent work? Caring about what others thought. This is a tough one. Should I post that? Someone might say this. Should I start this business? What if I fail? Someone will think I don't deserve it. I don't know if I should do this. My brother might say this. I don't know if I should do this. My friend might say this. I don't know if I should do this. My mom might say this. They might think this about me. When you do that, you are creating monsters that aren't there. You're creating monsters and stories in your head to keep you stuck forever, and those things do not exist. They only exist in your brain. But you willingly create them because you're used to doing that. And then these stories, these people that are thinking things about you, keep you stuck from trying anything out of fear of judgment. When really, it's just this made-up person in your brain judging you and keeping you stuck. Everyone thinks about themselves. People aren't thinking about you. Whenever you see the rare comment or receive the rare judgment from somebody else, a negative judgment about you, that is a reflection of them. That's not a reflection of you. Anyone that goes out of their way to leave you a mean comment, to say something negative about you, is suffering deeply. And whatever subject matter they're criticizing you, most likely is a reflection of what they are suffering with. There was a guy I used to work with who was just extremely envious and jealous kind of guy. And as I got in shape, he became less and less friendly. When I was out of shape, undisciplined, and didn't look good, he was the friendliest, best friend in the world. But as I said, no, I want to completely change every single part of my life. And I did. And I started wearing clothes that actually fit. My muscles were popping through, and I started to look really good. He became less and less friendly, and he would start to make comments about my clothes. So he was an external realization of my internal negative voice. So he would say something. Eventually, I just started shutting him down. After my self-confidence really grew, he would say, "Chris, there's Chris wearing that tight shirt again. His bicep. He likes when his biceps pop through." So I just said, I'd rather my biceps pop through than my gut pop through, and I would gesture to his stomach. And people would laugh, and he stopped saying those things. Kept him in his place a little bit. So you can use that one. If you finally start to get your shit together and say, man, I like wearing clothes that fit. Like at this Mastermind, I got to go shop. I went shopping at the mall for the first time in my life. I would go to the mall and buy my wife things and kids things for Christmas, but I never went to the mall and actually went to stores to buy clothes for me that were more than like $10 for a shirt, buying them at Costco. Costco is my favorite store in the world, as you know. And so I used to buy my socks, underwear, shoes, every item of clothing at Costco because I don't give a shit. Just it fits, it looks good enough, that's fine for me. And that was even fancy. Me and my family, we used to go to Kmart. That was where we would get our clothes. Or I would just wear my brother's hand-me-down clothes. We never went shopping for clothes. So I'm going to this Mastermind. They had multiple professional videographers and photographers there the entire week. So I said, I need to actually invest in clothes that fit, that I don't buy at Costco. So I went, got nice clothes. I used the store for me. See, for me, I went to the store Untuckit. And that was my fancy clothes because the shirts were more than $10. So I bought all my clothes there, spent more money than I'm used to on clothes, but I considered that a business investment because people were taking so much content. I said, if they're going to be taking all this content, you need to look good for the content. You use the content for your business. This is a business investment. So I did. Felt good about it. And look, all the content I saw, somebody's going to look good as well. But they fit, and they're tight, and it looks good, and I feel good about it. If I cared too much about what other people think, I wouldn't have done any of that. So I talked about the things that held me back, and then I also shared with them these lessons allowed me to finally break through and stay disciplined. Like, what did I learn by digging that out of myself? Well, stress, anxiety, depression is normal. Do the thing anyway. Is what you want greater than what you're feeling? If it is, it doesn't matter what you're feeling. You're still going to get it done. If your goals are greater than your feelings, you won't quit. Another one, failure is necessary and it won't kill you. Failure is not going to kill you. It's okay to fail. It's huge. Can't be afraid of it. You can survive in the chaos of failure. When you fail, not if you fail, when you fail, you can survive. Don't run from fear and pain. Sit in it. When you have those bad feelings of fear, doubt, depression, stress, anxiety, don't run from it. Sit in it. You will rise to who you believe you are. Who do you think you are? You will rise to that. Your inner belief, the story you tell yourself, your self-belief, that determines your results. That is what you will become. You will rise to who you become. You will rise to, I said that weird. Look, I made a mistake. You will rise to who you believe you are. Who do you think you are? Do you think you're do you consider yourself a $100,000 kind of guy, $100,000 a year kind of guy? Well, then you're going to make that much. In your head, you believe you're a $1 million a year kind of guy. You're going to make that much. At this business mastermind, there's a guy who makes $4.5 million a month in his business. If he hits $2 million a month, he's freaking out. He said, "Oh my God, I'm not." He thinks, "Oh my God, I'm not a $2 million a month kind of guy. I'm a $4 or $5 million a month kind of guy." That's his vision then. Same thing. I used to think that, whenever I started my ad agency 5-6 years ago, and I finally started to make some decent money with it. When I first started, I said, "Oh, if I could just make $1,000 this month, that'd be amazing. I would be set. That would cover all my bills and little things." That was my mindset at the time. But then when I got up to $10,000 a month, if I hit $1,000 a month, I'd be freaking out. Then my vision was, I want to try for $15,000 a month. So your vision changes, and your identity changes. Your vision and identity change, and your actions change to back that up. Maybe you can make $100,000 a month. Well, then whenever you get to $70,000 a month, you're going to think, "Oh my God, that's not good. I'm only at $70,000 a month." It just changes with who you think you are. If you're in fitness and you're used to having a six-pack all the time, you're used to staying lean, whenever that starts to go away and you can only see 4 abs, you think, "Oh my goodness, I'm not a 4-ab kind of guy. I'm a 6-ab kind of guy." Just to give you an example. So presentation went well. I taught some of these deeper lessons. Like I said, I wasn't talking about the X's and O's and algorithms and that kind of stuff. I was talking about battling yourself and overcoming yourself and the things that matter the most to me. Because I truly believe, and my message to all of them was, your business will rise to who you are as a person. I know that if I get even more disciplined, if I demand more of myself, if I continually work on myself over this next year, my business success will reflect that. However, if I get complacent, lazy, undisciplined, everything will crumble and fall. Everything. Say I reach $1 million a month because of the man I become. And I say, yes, yay, I reached $1 million a month. Now it's time for me to go on a month-long vacation and sleep in every day and eat like crap. And I gain 20 pounds that month and I become undisciplined. Guess what's going to happen to my business? It's going to crumble and fail. I must maintain who I am. I must maintain my discipline or everything goes away. I believe that to my core. It's one of my philosophies. And because that's my philosophy, my habits will reflect that. And because those are my habits, my results will reflect my philosophy. So the week was unbelievable. Amazing food, amazing people, lots of lessons learned. I did a great job with my presentation, so I felt good about it. Came home and had a little bit of a failure as a father because I was so jet lagged and tired I tried to take a nap to get my sleep back, but I just couldn't. My family really wanted to spend a ton of time with me, but I was so tired, I wasn't into it. I still spent time with them. I still smiled and did the things they wanted to do, but I wish that I felt different. And I can't control my feelings. What I do is a thing that matters. Like how I feel doesn't matter. I have no control over that. What I do, I have complete control over. So the day after I returned, I was still jet lagged, tired, not caught up on sleep, and my son and daughter wanted to spend the entire day with me, running around, going to the park, and it was hotter here in Pittsburgh than it was in Mexico. Pittsburgh is a humid place. So it was 91 degrees. The thing said it felt like 95 and very humid. And Nathan wanted to run outside and play with me in the sun. I didn't want to do it. I still did, but I didn't want to do it. He wanted to go to the park. We have 15 amazing parks right by us, but him and Lauren wanted to go to this park that's 25 minutes away. So I was gone for 5 days, so I said, yes, I'll go to the park with you. So I drove out to this park. We played, and it was just searing hot. I felt like I was walking on the sun. It was like the old days where you would go down the slide and you could just hear the sizzle of your skin on the slide. That's how hot it was. So we drive 25 minutes out there. Nathan says he wants to play cops and robbers, so I'm running around with him, chasing him, just tired, hot, sweating, wanting to be home in the air conditioning, laying down, watching TV or something. That's what I felt like on the inside. That's what I was battling. That's the person I didn't want to be. So I still acted like the person I wanted to be, even though I wasn't feeling like it. I still went to the park. I still smiled. I still chased him around. Even on the inside, I said, man, I'm so tired right now. I just need to go to sleep. I just want to sit down in the air conditioning. But the person I wanted to become overruled those feelings. The man I want to be, the memory of myself I want my kids to have, overruled what I was feeling at that moment. I do not want my kids to remember me as a father who was sitting down after being gone for 5 days and just watching TV. I want them to remember a warm, energetic, loving father who's running around with them at the playground. So I did it anyway. So I was proud about that, though I wished I would have felt different. I struggled to be present that day. This was yesterday. I struggled to be present yesterday because of the physicality of what I was physically going through. That's an example of whenever you don't have routines and system in place. Some guys feel like that every single day. I have no energy for my family because of this physical thing that's going on. For me, that physical thing was going on because of this once-in-a-lifetime mastermind I was at and the jet lag. Today, I feel fine. I feel great. I can think clearly. Might not sound like it. I can think clearly. I have energy. I feel great. I feel like I can spend the entire day with my family, no problem. Yesterday, did not feel like that. Some guys live their entire lives like that every single day because they don't take care of themselves. You may drink every night or most nights. You might overeat. You might not have any morning routine, no evening routine, no systems in your life to keep yourself steady and disciplined amidst the chaos. And because of that, every day you have no energy. And every day you go to sleep at night and you're like, man, my son wanted to play with me. My daughter wanted to play with me. And I didn't give it my all. I didn't give them my all. Instead, I was selfish. I was just thinking about me and my own problems. I felt like that last night. I journaled about it. I said, I feel like shit. Why? Because I didn't show up as the father I wanted to. I still did the things, but I wanted to be more present. So I got a great night's sleep, and I'm attacking the day today as the father I want to be. I am going to make sure I hit the gym, make sure I eat healthy, make sure I drink a ton of water, take all my vitamins, and be extremely present with my family. Like I said, I still did the things yesterday, but I wasn't as present as I want to be. So I'll let that be a one-day fluke. And I don't want that one-day fluke to be a 365-day fluke and have that become who I am. So I need to battle that every single day. So once again, battling myself, which was the topic of the presentation I gave. Success in business, only if you battle yourself and win. Success as a father, only if you battle yourself and win. I didn't let that shadow self win. If I did, I would have failed as a father. I don't let failure win anymore. If I did, massive failure in my business. Always battling myself. The only way you can break through, look at that, maybe I am so tired I said break through. The only way you can break free of being stuck is if you battle yourself and win.